crackers and chips seem harmless, just a quick snack with soup or a late-night nibble. But for Canadians over 50, hidden dangers lurk in those crinkly bags and cardboard boxes. From sky-high sodium designed to spike your blood pressure to chemicals banned across Europe. Today, we expose 9 crackers and chips you need to avoid. Plus, 2 that actually deserve your trust. Coming in at number 9, we have Ritz crackers. For decades, Ritz has been the cracker of choice at Canadian gatherings. That buttery, flaky texture, that golden shine on the box promising simple, wholesome ingredients. The satisfying snap when you bite through that first cracker. But here is what Ritz does not want you to know. A single serving of Ritz original crackers contains around 230 milligrams of sodium. That might not sound alarming until you realize most people eat far more than the suggested 5-cracker serving. Before you know it, you have consumed nearly half your daily sodium limit. And that is before you have added any cheese or dip. Picture your typical afternoon snack. You open the sleeve, grab a handful, and before you realize it, 15 or 20 crackers have disappeared. For seniors managing high blood pressure, this is not a minor issue. Excess sodium forces your heart to work harder, increases fluid retention, and can interfere with blood pressure medications like ACE inhibitors and diuretics. Your doctor prescribed those pills to protect you, but a handful of Ritz crackers can quietly undo their effect. The Canadian Heart and Stroke Foundation recommends no more than 2,000 milligrams of sodium daily. One generous serving of Ritz can consume a quarter of that allowance before dinner even begins. Then there is the ingredient list. Ritz contains high fructose corn syrup and partially hydrogenated oils in some formulations. Partially hydrogenated oils are code for trans fats, the kind linked to elevated LDL cholesterol and increased risk of heart disease. The American Heart Association has been warning about trans fats for years, yet they still appear in products sitting on Canadian shelves. Every bite introduces compounds. Your cardiovascular system was never designed to process. The promise was simple comfort. The reality is a sodium bomb laced with ingredients that do not belong in a cracker. If you have been trusting Ritz as a harmless snack, it is time to think again. At number 8, we have Lay's classic potato chips. Lay's is everywhere. Gas stations, grocery stores, vending machines. The familiar yellow bag promises joy with every crunch. That signature crinkle when you tear open the bag. The aroma of salt and oil that hits you immediately. But behind that cheerful branding lies a snack designed to keep you eating, past the point of safety. A standard 50-gram bag of Lay's Classic contains approximately 370 milligrams of sodium. For seniors on sodium-restricted diets, especially those managing congestive heart failure or chronic kidney disease, that single bag can represent a significant portion of your entire daily allowance. And let us be honest, when was the last time you stopped at just 50 grams? The small bag feels like an appetizer. The family size bag empties faster than you would ever admit. Here is what makes this worse. Lay's uses a combination of salt, fat, and crunch scientifically engineered to trigger your brain's reward centers. Food scientists call it the bliss point, the exact ratio that makes you reach for chip after chip without feeling satisfied. You were never supposed to stop at one handful. The bag was designed to empty itself. This is not an accident. This is precision food engineering meant to override your natural fullness signals. For seniors with kidney issues, excess sodium accelerates the decline of kidney function. Your kidneys are already working overtime to filter waste. Flooding them with salt from processed snacks only speeds up the damage. And if you are on potassium-sparing medications, the interaction between high sodium intake and your prescriptions can throw your electrolyte balance into chaos. The consequences range from muscle weakness to dangerous heart arrhythmias. The texture feels light and crispy. The aftertaste feels harmless. But your cardiovascular system tells a different story. Lay's promises happiness in every bite, but delivers a slow, silent assault on your heart and kidneys. Most people never learn how to fix this, but we will break it down at the very end of the video. Stick around, because the solution could change how you snack forever. Now at number 7, we have Triscuit Original Crackers. Triscuit markets itself as the wholesome choice. Woven wheat, simple ingredients, fiber-rich goodness. The box practically screams natural and healthy. Those interlocking wheat fibers look like something your grandmother might have made by hand. But for seniors, Triscuit hides a dirty secret beneath that rustic image. A serving of 6 Triscuit crackers contains around 160 milligrams of sodium. That sounds moderate, until you consider that nobody eats just 6. The average person consumes 12 to 18 crackers in a sitting, pushing sodium intake toward 500 milligrams from crackers alone. Stack on some cheese or dip, and you have quietly consumed a third of your daily sodium budget. But sodium is not the only concern. Triscuit's whole grain wheat is processed using industrial methods that strip away much of the nutritional value while leaving behind compounds that can irritate sensitive digestive systems. Seniors with diverticulitis or irritable bowel syndrome have reported discomfort after consuming Triscuit regularly. The rough, shredded texture can aggravate inflamed intestinal walls. What looks like wholesome fiber can feel like sandpaper on a compromised digestive tract. And here is something Triscuit does not advertise. Some varieties contain added oils and flavorings that bump up the calorie count and introduce unnecessary additives. The sea salt and olive oil version sounds Mediterranean and heart-healthy, but the olive oil is minimal. Most of the fat comes from cheaper vegetable oils that offer none of the cardiovascular benefits you thought you were getting. The label implies health. The reality delivers something far less impressive. The woven wheat looks artisanal. The marketing feels trustworthy, but your digestive tract and blood pressure know the truth. Triscuit promised simplicity and delivered complexity you did not ask for. Want the real truth about what is on your plate? Subscribe now so you never get blindsided by hidden food dangers. We expose what the labels will not tell you every single week. Number 6 on our list is Pringles Original. Pringles are not technically chips. They are a manufactured snack made from dehydrated potato flakes, wheat starch, and a long list of additives pressed into that iconic saddle shape. The uniformity is not a sign of quality. It is a sign of industrial processing. Every single crisp is identical because it was stamped out by a machine. There is nothing natural about that perfect curve. A single serving of Pringles, about 16 crisps, contains around 150 milligrams of sodium, but the can is designed to make portion control nearly impossible. That narrow tube fits perfectly in your hand. Once that foil seal pops, most people consume half the tube or more in one sitting. That means you could be ingesting over 500 milligrams of sodium before you even realize the can is running low. The design is intentional. The can wants to empty itself. For seniors with hypertension, this is dangerous territory. Sodium causes your body to retain water, increasing blood volume and forcing your heart to pump harder. Over time, this leads to arterial damage, thickened heart walls, and increased stroke risk. If you are taking beta blockers or calcium channel blockers, excess sodium can reduce their effectiveness, leaving you unprotected when you thought you were covered. Your medications work within a specific sodium range. Exceed that range and the protection evaporates. Then there is the monosodium glutamate, or MSG. While Health Canada considers MSG generally safe, many seniors report headaches, flushing, and heart palpitations after consuming it. If you have ever felt off after finishing a tube of Pringles, MSG could be the culprit. That vague sense of unease, that flushed feeling across your face, that is not your imagination. That is your body reacting to flavor enhancers it was never designed to process in such quantities. The slogan says, "Once you pop, you cannot stop." That is not a boast. It is a warning. Pringles were engineered to override your satiety signals and keep you eating. Your willpower was never the problem. The product was designed to defeat it. Coming in at number 5, we have President's Choice Blue Menu Multigrain Crisps. President's Choice Blue Menu is supposed to be the healthier option. The blue label signals smart choices. The multigrain promise suggests fiber, whole grains, and nutritional value. Walk down any Loblaws aisle and that blue packaging practically glows with implied health benefits. But when you look closer, the blue menu might not deserve its health halo. A serving of Blue Menu multigrain crisps contains around 140 milligrams of sodium. That is lower than some competitors. But the serving size is tiny. Most seniors eat 2 or 3 servings without realizing it, pushing sodium intake toward 400 milligrams or more. The small serving size is a marketing trick. It makes the nutrition label look better, while the reality of how people actually eat tells a different story. Here is the betrayal. Multigrain does not mean whole grain. The word multigrain simply means multiple grains were used. It says nothing about whether those grains were refined or stripped of their fiber and nutrients. Many multigrain products use processed flour as the primary ingredient, with token amounts of other grains sprinkled in for marketing purposes. You see the word multigrain and imagine wholesome nutrition. The manufacturer sees multigrain as a loophole. And then there are the added sugars. Some flavored varieties in the blue menu line contain dextrose, maltodextrin, or other sweeteners that spike blood sugar levels. For seniors managing type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, these hidden sugars can destabilize glucose control and increase insulin resistance over time. You thought you were choosing a healthier snack. Instead, you chose a glucose roller coaster disguised in responsible packaging. The blue menu label made you feel responsible. It made you feel like you were making the smart choice. But that trust was built on clever marketing, not genuine nutritional superiority. Your pancreas and your blood sugar deserve better. Why do you think the CFIA lets brands use ingredients banned in other countries? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think. At number 4, we have Cheetos Crunchy. Cheetos are the snack that leaves evidence. Orange dust on your fingers, your shirt, your couch. That neon color is not natural. It is the result of artificial dyes, including yellow 6, which has been linked to hyperactivity in children and is restricted in several European countries. The European Union requires warning labels on products containing yellow 6. Canada requires nothing. A serving of Cheetos Crunchy contains approximately 250 milligrams of sodium, but the serving size is only 21 pieces, a laughably small amount when the bag contains far more. Most people consume the entire bag in one sitting, pushing sodium intake past 600 milligrams from a single snack. That is nearly a third of your daily allowance from something most people consider a minor indulgence between meals. For seniors with cardiovascular concerns, this sodium load is reckless. High sodium intake constricts blood vessels, elevates blood pressure, and increases the workload on an already aging heart. If you have a family history of stroke or heart attack, every unnecessary milligram of sodium adds to your risk. The damage accumulates silently. You do not feel your arteries stiffening. You do not sense your blood pressure climbing. The harm happens beneath the surface where you cannot see it. And the ingredients list reads like a chemistry experiment. Maltodextrin, monosodium glutamate, disodium inosinolate. These are flavor enhancers designed to override your taste buds and make artificial cheese powder taste irresistible. Your brain registers pleasure, but your body registers stress. Every crunch delivers compounds that confuse your natural hunger signals and trick your brain into wanting more. The crunch is satisfying. The flavor is addictive. The orange dust is almost fun. But beneath that playful exterior, Cheetos deliver a cocktail of sodium, artificial additives, and processed ingredients that your cardiovascular system cannot afford. Now, at number 3, we have Crispy Premium Plus Salted Tops Crackers. Premium Plus has been a Canadian pantry staple for generations. The red and white packaging feels familiar, comforting, trustworthy. These are the crackers your mother served with soup, the crackers you crumble into chili, the crackers that feel like home, the ones that have sat in Canadian cupboards since before you were born. But nostalgia does not equal nutrition. A serving of Premium Plus Salted Tops contains around 220 milligrams of sodium. The visible salt crystals on top might seem like honest labeling. What you see is what you get. But those crystals are just the beginning. There is additional sodium baked into the cracker itself, hidden beneath that innocent beige surface. The salt you see is only half the story. The salt you cannot see is doing the real damage. For seniors managing chronic kidney disease, sodium accumulation is a serious threat. Your kidneys regulate sodium balance. When they are compromised, excess sodium builds up in your bloodstream, causing swelling, fluid retention, and dangerous spikes in blood pressure. A few crackers with your tomato soup could push you over the edge. What feels like a harmless lunch tradition becomes a calculated risk your body cannot afford. And then there is the refined flour. Premium Plus crackers are made primarily from enriched wheat flour, stripped of fiber, stripped of nutrients, fortified with synthetic vitamins that your body absorbs less efficiently than natural sources. The result is a cracker that spikes your blood sugar, offers minimal nutritional value, and leaves you hungry for more. Your body processes enriched flour almost like sugar. The glycemic response is nearly identical. The familiarity feels safe. The crunch feels innocent. But Premium Plus has not kept pace with what we now know about sodium, refined carbohydrates, and senior health. What worked for your parents may not work for you. Do not go yet. The solution comes at the very end, and it could change how you shop forever. Stay with me. Number 2 on our list is Old Dutch Ripples Chips. Old Dutch is a Canadian institution. The rippled texture promises superior dip scooping capability. The brand feels homegrown, authentic, trustworthy. That distinctive yellow bag with the windmill logo has been a hockey game companion for generations. But Old Dutch Ripples hide sodium levels that should concern every senior watching. A 50-gram serving of Old Dutch Ripples Original contains approximately 340 milligrams of sodium. That is nearly 15% of your recommended daily intake, from a single handful of chips. And the rippled design holds more salt in every groove, delivering a sodium punch that flat chips cannot match. Those ridges are not just for dipping. They are salt delivery systems engineered to maximize flavor impact and minimize your ability to stop eating. For seniors on heart medications, this sodium density creates real problems. Drugs like Lasix, lisinopril, and metoprolol are calibrated to work with a specific sodium intake. When you exceed that level, the medications cannot keep pace. Your blood pressure climbs, your ankles swell, and your heart strains against the tide. The pills your doctor prescribed are fighting a losing battle against every handful of chips. But sodium is only part of the story. Old Dutch chips are fried in vegetable oil at high temperatures, a process that can generate acrylamide, a compound linked to cancer risk in some studies. The longer a chip fries, the more acrylamide forms. Those extra crispy ripples might be delivering more than flavor. That deep golden brown color that signals crunch also signals chemical compounds your body struggles to process. The crunch is satisfying. The dip scooping ability is undeniable. But Old Dutch Ripples carry a hidden cost that your cardiovascular system pays every time you reach into that bag. Isn't it strange how billion-dollar food companies keep having recalls, yet their products are still on every shelf? What do you think is really going on? Let me know in the comments. Coming in at number 1, the worst cracker and chip offender you need to avoid at all costs is Miss Vicky's kettle-cooked chips. Miss Vicky's presents itself as the artisanal alternative, the craft paper bag with the handwritten style font, the kettle-cooked promise suggesting small batch care, the flavors that sound sophisticated, sea salt and malt vinegar, jalapeno, sweet chili, and sour cream. Everything about Miss Vicky's screams premium quality. The price tag certainly reflects that positioning, but the numbers tell a different story. A 50-gram serving of Miss Vicky's original recipe contains approximately 380 milligrams of sodium, one of the highest counts in the Canadian chip market. The sea salt and malt vinegar flavor is even worse, pushing past 400 milligrams per serving. For seniors managing hypertension, that is nearly 20% of your daily sodium limit from a single snack. You are paying premium prices for premium sodium levels. And here is where the betrayal cuts deepest. Miss Vicky's has faced multiple recalls in Canada. In 2019, certain batches were recalled due to potential salmonella contamination linked to seasoning suppliers. The CFIA issued warnings. Products were pulled from shelves, and consumers who trusted the premium branding found themselves at risk of foodborne illness. The artisanal image shattered when bacteria entered the supply chain. Salmonella is dangerous for anyone, but for seniors with weakened immune systems, it can be life-threatening. Symptoms include severe diarrhea, fever, and abdominal cramps that can last for days. In vulnerable populations, salmonella can spread to the bloodstream and require hospitalization. A snack that was supposed to be a treat becomes a trip to the emergency room. The kettle-cooked texture feels special. The packaging feels trustworthy. The price point feels justified. But Miss Vicky's has proven that premium branding does not guarantee premium safety. When a company charges more and delivers less protection, that is not artisanal. That is betrayal. Statistics show that Canadians over 50 consume approximately 34% more sodium than recommended daily limits. Much of that excess comes from processed snacks marketed as harmless indulgences. The chip and cracker aisle is not neutral territory. It is a battlefield where your health is at stake. Now for the good news. The first actually safe option is Mary's Organic Crackers. Made with organic whole grains, seeds, and minimal sodium, Mary's Organic Crackers deliver genuine nutrition without hidden dangers. Each cracker contains approximately 40 milligrams of sodium, a fraction of conventional brands. The ingredients are simple: brown rice, quinoa, flax seeds, sesame seeds. No artificial preservatives, no trans fats, no refined flour. Just real food that your body recognizes. For seniors managing blood pressure, cholesterol, or kidney health, Mary's Organic Crackers offer a crunch you can trust. They are widely available at Canadian grocery stores, including Loblaws, Sobeys, and Whole Foods. The texture is satisfying, the flavor is nutty and genuine, and the ingredient list is short enough to read in seconds. When a cracker delivers real fiber and plant-based nutrition, That is not just safe, that is smart. The price per serving is higher than conventional brands. But when you factor in the medical costs of sodium-related health problems, the math works in your favor. The second recommendation is Hard Bite Handcrafted Chips, a British Columbia company, committed to small batch quality and transparent sourcing. Hard Bite chips are kettle-cooked in sunflower oil with minimal seasoning, delivering approximately 150 milligrams of sodium per 50-gram serving, significantly lower than national brands. The company was founded in 2006 with a simple philosophy: make chips the way they used to be made, before flavor enhancers, before industrial processing, before profit margins took priority over quality. The potatoes are sourced from Canadian farms, the batches are small enough for genuine quality control, and the company has maintained a clean safety record. For seniors who want the occasional chip without the cardiovascular guilt, Hard Bite offers a Canadian-made alternative that proves flavor and safety can coexist. Available at Costco, Save on Foods, and many independent grocers across Canada, Hard Bite represents what the snack industry could be if companies prioritized health over profit. The crunch is real. The ingredients are minimal. The sodium is manageable. That is the standard every chip should meet. Not all crackers and chips are created equal. Some can silently damage your heart, kidneys, and blood pressure while you think you are enjoying an innocent snack. Now you know which brands to leave on the shelf and which ones actually deserve your trust. Subscribe now so you never get blindsided again.